all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How we doing today? Hopefully we are doing well. We got a good one for you today. And I'm going to show you a video, and then we're going to review something, and I'm going to be reviewing it with you. So I haven't watched it before. So we going to have a reaction together today. Y'all up for that? Okay. So this was maybe about a couple of weeks ago. I actually ran up on this video and I saw it, and sometimes I put stuff on the back burner, and I always have to come back to whatever I put on the back burner. And today's the day that I come back for this video, where we had this chick get on TikTok. And, I am going to talk about the posting your personal business for clout, and then getting mad that people are in your personal business when you gave them the opportunity to be in your personal business. In any case, I want to show you the video of the person that I am referring to. Okay. So this one right here. This is what we got right here. I don't know how many of you have ever seen this clip, but we're going to run the clip. Let me refresh it a little bit, and we're going to run the clip right now.
Put a finger down if you're 29 with 5 kids under the age of 7, and your husband told you he wants to get a divorce because you want to continue going to your family church he doesn't like, but he wants you to stay in the house for the sake of the kids, and says he'll eventually start seeing other people. So he takes back the Benz that he bought you and buys you a less expensive car, and you take you and your 5 kids to go live with your dad. And now you share a room with your 5 kids, trying to get your life back together because you haven't worked in 8 years because your husband told you to focus on you, your kids, and school. So now you got to learn how to be a single mom, all while your kid's dad is gaslighting you, making you feel bad for leaving the house because he says you should have stayed and saved up, even though he's going to be out doing what he wants to do. Put a finger down if you're 29 with...
Now, the only reason I'm going to run this twice is I want everybody to listen carefully to what she just said so we can get the facts down. She's 29. She's married. The 5 children are his. Okay? I'm just going over the facts. She's 29 as of now. She's been married. She has 5 children under 7. All 5 of those children are from her husband. Okay? She's claiming that the reason he's leaving her is that he doesn't like the church that she go to, which I find that to be suspicious. Like, he leaving you over church?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Then, so we just gonna go back. We gonna let it. We just gonna let it.
5 kids under the age of 7, and your husband told you he wants to get a divorce because you want to continue going to your family church he doesn't like, but he wants you to stay in the house for the sake of the kids, and says he'll eventually start seeing other people. So he takes back the Benz.
It's a lot missing. He's divorcing you over church because you want to continue to, supposedly, this is because you want to continue to go to the church that your family has been going to, which I find to be real interesting, because what man that you married to, you and your family, like your siblings, your mother, father, have a church that y'all have all been going to since you was little. You marry a man, and all of a sudden, this man does not want you to go to a church. No, she's saying a family church. So from that, I'm assuming that she means a church that her family has always gone to. So she's comfortable in that church. There's a reason supposedly that he does not want you to go to the church. You're just telling us he don't want you to go, but you haven't told us why he doesn't want you to go. What's happening in that church or not happening in that church that he has said, I don't want you to attend that church? That part was conveniently left out. So now we go back, because we just trying to lay down the facts.
That he bought you and buys you a less expensive car, and you take you and your 5.
Now she just said that he took back the Benz that he bought you. Okay? And gave you a less expensive car. What model of Benz was sufficient for you and 5 kids any dang on way? I mean, I know Benz sell trucks. They that spacious? Benz sell. What's Ben's biggest truck? Mercedes Benz SUVs. So we got the GLE. These don't look all that big. I mean, they look all right. They look all right. They look like they got a decent size to them. But they don't look super big. When you go to, hold on. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. When you go to the Benz site, trying to figure out okay, vehicles, the SUVs. So most of them look like crossovers, to be honest with you. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going through this. He bought you a G-Wagon? Because them that look like about the only one big enough. Anyway, you mean he took back the Expedition that he had you? An Expedition could do it. A Honda Odyssey, a Toyota Sienna. Okay. Yeah. That'll do it. So what she is indicating by telling us that he took back an expensive car and gave her a less expensive car, she's trying to give us the notion that he's financially abusing her. That's what she's trying to tell us. She's trying to tell us that because she was saddled with 5 children from this marriage, stair-stepping them. So she was pregnant back to back with these kids. And due to that, she was unable to be working during this time because she said her husband told her to focus on herself, the kids and school. What happened to that? And so she's trying to tell us that this man is financially abusing her. And therefore, she had to take them kids and go back to her daddy's house.
Kids to go live with your dad, and now you share a room with your 5 kids trying to get your life back together because you haven't worked in 8 years because your husband told you to focus on you, your kids, and school. So now you got to learn how to be a single mom, all while your kid's dad is gaslighting you.
Now hold on. School. So you had little children. Your husband was handling the finances of the home, which allowed you to be a stay-at-home mom. He, by your words, he told you to focus on yourself, kids, and school. Now, school allows you in almost a decade to earn some type of certification, some type of degree. 8 years is enough to earn a degree. There is school to be done at home. There is school to be done where you kind of go back and forth to a campus, partially at home, partially in the school. They got a lot of ways that you can attend college and university without having to be on the campus 24 hours. And within that time frame, you're able to obtain a skill, or you are able to obtain some kind of education that's going to allow you to be able to go right into a career field that would pay you a pretty decent penny. Had you been doing that rather than trying to check up on him and po mouth about being a stay-at-home mom, you would have been able to have you some money in such a situation. Y'all following me?
Making you feel bad for leaving the house because he says you should have stayed and saved up, even though he's going to be out doing what he wants to do.
Now, she just said to us that he told her she was stupid for leaving the house because he would have maintained it long enough for her to get something together so she could live. But since she left, it is what it is. I thought he broke up with you. So is he financially abusing you, or is he cheating on you? Or both? Because she said that he said he was going to eventually start seeing other people and being with other women. And you wasn't smart enough to leave 5 children with their father. All of this. Suddenly your eyes are clear about what he doing, yet you was also not quite bright, not quite quick enough on the uptake to lead them kids with their daddy. All 5 of them. You wasn't smart enough to do that. Because you want clout. You want the worst possible situation so that you can come to the internet with the children in the back of the car while she talking crazy in this TikTok. Kids all in the back of the car while she talking crazy on this TikTok. And you moved all 5 of them kids to your father's place as if it were his responsibility to take care of you and his grandkids the way I would have left them kids with their daddy. It's clout chasing. It's clout chasing. And how do we know it's clout chasing? Crimson, she might have been telling us the truth. How do we know it's clout chasing? Because she ends up here.
So what we're going to do, we're actually going to bring this sister up. Okay, she's going to be an eyewitness here. We're going to get a little bit more details, and I'm going to bring up the actual jury, meaning you guys here today. In fact, let's go ahead and drop the link for people to come backstage now so you can give your verdict on whether or not, I really want to know your thoughts on this one here, family.
Now, because sometimes YouTube do what it do, I'm going to put up this here so you could just hear the audio. Okay? So it's just going to be the audio.
Man, they get, first off, I'm looking at the chat. The chat is already getting strong. What? Listen, we got to bring her up.
We got to. Matter of fact, I want everybody to give a warm welcome to my sister Tati on Hardly Initiated.
What up, Tati?
Tati, what up with you?
How are you?
I'm
good. How are you?
Listen, we blessed to have you. And I mean, you've also have taken the internet by storm. I believe it's close to 4 million views on that video, correct?
I'll say 3 million.
Okay. Close to 3 million. Okay, cool. Close to 3 million. And let me ask you this: did you expect that when you shared that something like that would catch fire like that?
No. And the crazy thing is, I really live a private life, so that was kind of just something, that was enough of me. I would say that, but I was not expecting where to go. That
Lies. Already lying. This her. Already lying, y'all. Talking about she private. You're not private when you take your very personal business that nobody had access to before you said it to TikTok. You set up your phone in your phone holder on the dashboard of your car. You logged in to your TikTok. Them acting like it just happened blows me. You logged into your TikTok profile. You clicked go live or record or whatever you did. And then you sat there to try to play the never have I ever or put your finger down if blah, 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 blah. Matter of fact, we didn't have put our finger down, sis. We got all 10 of them up, sis. Can't rock with you, sis. I didn't put my finger down, sis. I didn't do it. To try to tell the story in such a way that would garner sympathy, that would create controversy, that would create the conversation, and that would create a viral moment, which is what happened. Now that you get in front of somebody, the brothers on Hardly Initiated, shout out to the brothers on Hardly Initiated. Now you a private person and that's not you, and you really don't do that, girl.
Viral at all.
So check it out. I can imagine that, especially if that's never happened before. But I want to go ahead and get a little bit of information from you before I go ahead and get the thoughts from our initiates or today our jury. So if you can we go ahead and drop those links, Lano, so everybody can go ahead and get backstage. But let's get some additional context, because again, the biggest charge here is that you should be held responsible for the fact that you decided to be a stay-at-home mom You
Okay.
had 5 kids under 29, and
With my husband.
with your husband, and you got to take some responsibility for this. First off, I'm just curious because it seems like now this happened, which is some questions here. That's a separate conversation. But right now, just to be clear, is the relationship is not moving forward at this point? Are you pretty much you and your
Nothing.
husband headed to divorce?
Yeah, we're still in the process of everything. The only relationship that we do have is with our kids. So if we can communicate, it's about our kids, strictly about our kids.
Okay. So why did you want to keep all 5 of the kids? Just to be clear.
I don't know how much you want me to say, but I had many reasons. One reason is because our home, his job and our home are almost an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So we have no family down, in our primary residence. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for all these years anyway. So I'm used to, doing my motherly things, taking care of the home and everything. But if, I have to work or something happens with the kids, that falls on me. So I move, with my dad, and he actually works in the same city as my father. So if something were to happen, since I'm a single mom now, or we're splitting, everything with the kids doesn't have to follow me. They can also call him because during the day, he's where my dad is in the area. So that was one of my reasons, but there's many reasons.
That don't make no sense, Bookie, but and you didn't answer the question. She didn't answer that question at all. You kept the children so that you could maintain child support. Let's stop acting a fool. The reason that you kept all 5 of those children as you become homeless and destitute is so that you could go down to the courthouse and file for child support, and he would have 5 children on the docket that he would need to pay child support for. So you would get a nice size check depending upon the amount of money that this man make. And from what you talking about, he make a nice couple of dollars. So he is going to be liable to give you a decent sum of money for 5 children for child support. Why get on here and lie? Why get on this internet and lie? Because if the situation was about you really actually getting yourself together, I absolutely guarantee you that child care and all of those things would now be his responsibility to figure out. He would need to figure out who needs to watch those children while he go to work. Which daycare do he need to send them to? Some of them going to school. Some of them got to be in Head Start. Some of them got to be in daycare. And he would have to figure that out. While I moved out, got me somewhere, even if I had to stay with my daddy, I certainly wouldn't have stayed with him with a bunch of kids, and get myself together so that I can go live. And in that way, he don't got to pay me child support. The children are with him, and I visit them. I get visitation and all of that good stuff. Children belong to their fathers, do they not? But y'all don't ever want to give the kids to their daddy because the children are a meal ticket for you. You don't want to work. You don't want to have anything that would make you money. You don't want to do that. I'm glad the brother said what he said in the beginning. He said, you got to take some kind of responsibility for that. Because if you only been married like 8 years and you have 5 children, the oldest of which is 7, you started out pregnant. Ain't no way. Listen, I'm going to say something that might be controversial to some folk. when you first get married and you are a young and of childbearing age and all that kind of stuff, you need to not get pregnant the first couple of seconds of your marriage. Now, some people might not agree with that. That's just my personal opinion. You're going to need to establish that relationship. Get a real good foundation for that relationship so that you are not bringing children into what might be a tumultuous relationship or one where y'all not getting along, things don't look good, or whatever the case may be. The only thing that occurred to me is that she wanted to be pregnant right away because this dude got a couple of dollars. So it's like, let me start having kids real quick. Let me start having kids real quick, because if anything should go down, even if I'm not married to him long enough to get part of the pension or anything like that, I'll at least have these children that I can get child support for. Okay. That's what let me have a bunch of them too, not just one or two, because who wants to step them kids like that? 5 in a marriage that's less than a decade old? The way y'all don't like to be married, the way y'all don't like to work nothing out, the way every little thing tell for marriage now, y'all ain't got no type of staying power, the men or the women, really. Because the men may not go down there and file for divorce, but they be checking out real quick. Emotionally just check on out. The women are go ahead and sign a paper. We're going to get back to it. Because what? that is very true. It take 9 months to bake a baby. It take 9 months to bake a baby. That's nearly a year. Well, we're going to come back after these messages. We'll be right back. So I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, then you need the body butter that's on the screen right now. And if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. All right. Once again, the link, ashkicking.com, is pinned to the top of the chat. All right. I owe you guys a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, And I want to thank those who have sent a Cash App as well. Thank you for your contribution. I appreciate you. Okay. Again, I'm just going to allow you to hear the audio. I'm not going to go back to the video.
That's just one of them.
Is that strange to you that people would be upset by that?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, the people will be upset about you, having five kids.
I don't understand why that's a problem. I mean, yes, I started young, but I mean, people younger than me with more kids than me, which is fine. But I don't think it's straight at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I must be tripping, because I thought that's what the wife was supposed to do. She laying her life on the line 5 different occasions.
I'm curious about that too. Why did you choose to be a stay-at-home mom?
Okay, so I really did not choose to be a stay-at-home mom. When me and my husband, when we initially got married, he was actually, we just started going to the church or whatever. So that's another thing. The church was in Atlanta. We lived almost 2 hours away from the church. So, you know, and he was actually going up in the ranks in the church. So, you know, his life was like committed to the church. And as somebody going up in the ranks, like, you know, being a minister or a pastor, as a first lady, or, you know, someone, you know, you're supposed to compliment your husband. So that kind of just us being involved in church, it kind of consumed me in a way, because we were always at the church. So it was kind of hard getting a job, especially once the children start coming along, and the church being an hour and a half, 2 hours away. You know, we going to church 3 times a week, and then traveling to Florida, Alabama, Mississippi every other month. So the amount, because we were consumed with the church, you know, okay, to save money and the amount of times we were out, you know, I just had to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have to, but it was more befitting for our lifestyle.
Sounds like it made financial sense as well at that time, which I think people can forget about. You know, I mean.
So hold on. So your husband is involved in the church? Your husband is like a pastor or minister, or he is ascending, I guess, the ranks of the church. I guess so one day he'll be like running the church or whatever, or running his own church, I'm assuming. So was your husband in charge of a different church and he wanted you to follow him to his church and you didn't want to do it? Because this story still don't make no sense. If the church was y'all lifestyle, if y'all was the church family, you was going to be the first lady and he going to be the pastor or what have you, and y'all gonna be the perfect little church family. Seemed like you know, you was gonna be Little House on the Prairie and all that. I'm showing my age at this point. There's a lot of young folk don't know what I'm talking about. But you was gonna be that. You was gonna be the first lady, hoity-toity, and all of that. And y'all got divorced over a situation surrounding the church. If church is your lifestyle, and he is heavily involved in the church, why would he suddenly want you to not go? We still ain't got to that part. We still have not gotten to that part.
I mean, maybe I don't know if people don't have kids as well, but daycare is expensive. You talk about long commutes. You talking about depending on what the, you know, one of the provider parent is doing. Maybe they have a demanding job. You know what I mean? And maybe you know, maybe it actually makes sense for somebody to stay at home. I think Stefan Arnio, he put this. He had, you know, was doing research when he wrote his book. He talked about at that point, this was like, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. He said the stay at home mother's value in the workplace is about $80,000 to $100,000 a year. So this is
I think that was like per kid too. It was like per kid. I think what he evaluated.
So this is a high. I mean, this is, you know, a high paying job. This is a major responsibility.
Valuable.
Correct.
No, 100%. I think Ryan is really skewing the jury's decision at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Listen, let me be quiet. Okay.
I don't even know if people are gonna really get back and go to trial no more. But I really want the people's opinion here on this one. And by the way, do we have a poll for this one as well that we dropping?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop one.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and drop a poll here on this one. And just to, you know, be clear now, because, you know, you're in a situation now where you got 5 babies, and essentially what you communicated is, now you're in a situation because you went ahead and foregoed your the ability to really get some money, and you had these kids under 29. Now you bit of a tough situation now, or tougher situation than you were prior.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, that's what you said in the video. You literally.
I know, and I think it was the delivery of the video. I mean, you know, I was just trying to get it out. Of course, it was dramatic, but I mean,
I was just trying to get it out. Of course, it was dramatic. Did you just hear what she just said? Do I need to rewind that? Let's go back a couple of seconds.
Mother's value in the workplace is about $80 to $100,000 a year. So this is
I think that was like per kid too. It was like per kid. I think it was what he evaluated.
So this is a high. I mean, this is a high paying job. This is a major responsibility.
Valuable.
Correct.
No, 100%. I think Ryan is really skewing the jury's decision at this point.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Listen, let me be quiet. Okay.
I don't even know if people are gonna really get back and go to trial no more. But I really want the people's opinion here on this one. And by the way, do we have a poll for this one as well that we dropping?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop one.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and drop a poll here on this one. And just to be clear now, because
now I want you to listen carefully. I rewound it so that you can hear it. He's going to characterize it in summary the way she delivered it. And I want you to hear her response to that.
You're in a situation now where you got 5 babies, and essentially what you communicated is now you're in a situation because you went ahead and forgoed your the ability to really get some money, and you had these kids under 29. Now you bit of a tough situation now, or tougher situation than you were prior.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, that's what you said in the video. You literally.
I know. And I think it was the delivery of the video. I mean, I was just trying to get it out. Of course, it was dramatic. But, I mean, he's still, 100% doing everything he's doing. He's just doing it from a distance. And
so clout chasing. She admit the clout chase. I wouldn't say I was in a bad situation. Because I guess it was in the delivery. And of course, I was trying to be dramatic because I wanted to get it out. But he's still doing everything that he was doing before, just at a distance. So you're not at a disadvantage. You're not at a disadvantage, are you? You're not the hard luck, sudden single mother of 5 because your husband left you and a divorce came out of nowhere, and now you just destitute with these kids because he don't do nothing for you. You can't call him. He don't want to have nothing to do with you or these kids, and you had to po mouth your way back to your daddy house, and you just don't know what you gonna do because he just done left you with these kids. He's taking care of the kids without a court order. That what you're telling me? Are you telling me that he's taking care of the kids, just not you? Because you left. Because you left the house. See, now the part about he wants to see other people and he's going to be doing his thing, now that doesn't make any sense. See, that part don't make no sense. You just threw that in there, didn't you? Because this is a man that called himself trying to be a man of God. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't no pastors that, deal with a congregation and have chicks in the congregation. I'm not saying there ain't no such thing as that. But this is a man that seemed like he was trying to be in the church. So you threw in that he was possibly maybe cheating on you or planning to, while he mistreat you, the poor, not working home mother who's just going to be kept now by a man who's not going to pay her no never mind, but he going to keep paying the bills and stuff like that, but he don't want her. And he was just going to stick her in this house with them 5 kids, maybe possibly more as time went on. And he was going to be out gallivanting with these other women. This is the picture that she was trying to paint. That he was going to be out gallivanting with these other women. Leaving you, poor mom, just a good woman that he's mistreating He's going to pay your bills, but that's about it. You're not going to have a real relationship with this man. He got you as an ornament. You'll be the first lady when it's convenient to come somewhere and he has a wife and children. But other than that, behind closed doors, you and him are not going to be an actual married couple with a connection. The reason why I wanted to point, I'm gonna see how far it goes, because like I told you, we're reacting to this together.
Also, like, as far as, the career, and I guess it doesn't really matter, I was able to, get my degree and real estate license. So I did get those things. I just was
So just to be clear, are you living in the same room with your babies at your dad's house? Is
Our
that true?
clothes are there, yeah. I mean, basically, we're spread out throughout the house, but I just said that we're all in. Not really, but yeah, you can say that. All our clothes are in there.
Not
but
really.
My kids.
So lies. So she's on here admitting that she just basically made up a story for clout. Did I not just say that?
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's really not that bad. I promise.
Uh-oh, hold on, wait. It was a little cap on daddy? It was a little cap on the husband?
Seriously, it's really not that bad. I promise
that was
you,
a
it's
lie.
not like where it's not like I moved furniture or anything. It's just clothes, and even my dad, he was the one pushing me to move. Like, he was like, you know what I mean? You don't need to be anything, a narcissistic environment, somebody that's controlling you. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't just about the church. It was other stuff that was going on that I didn't put in the video. So, it was a lot. He was telling me if I took the kids around my family, the marriage is over. So I didn't put that in the video, but it was more to it that I didn't even, address.
So let me ask you this. If your daughter was pretty much trying to came to you saying she wanted to have a man, 5 kids, give up her career, all in her marriage, would you advise her to do the same thing, or based on this experience, did that change your perspective?
I would advise her, because at the end of the day, it was kind of started off with the church. The church was the issue. I would say wait. I'll definitely tell her to wait till she's about like 25, 26, establish herself first, then, decide on getting married. But the route that I wouldn't tell her to do it. I would say just establish yourself first and then wait to have kids, because it was at the same time, yeah, I love my kids, but it's also, I'm still learning. It's a lot. It can be overstimulating. So I would kind of tell her to kind of go a different route.
And that's what I want to know. I want to know the people's perspective on this, because when I saw the comments, what it really was reflective is just the current state of trust of women in relationships. Because women is pretty much, that's why they brought up Sheer 7, because Sheer 7 is the pink pill queen.
Oh, yeah.
And she pretty much is all about keeping power and leverage in your hands. And a lot of ladies feel like once you start giving them babies out and you ain't making no money, now you've lost all the power and leverage in the relationship. And now if anything goes wrong, you are now with the short end of the stick. This is what we take in the trial here. I want to know the people's opinion.
So we get down to the nitty gritty. Thank you, 21st Century. Said, me, in regards to her dad, do not use words like that, even in a neutral setting. I don't have no words for the father, because that's his daughter. If your kid come back to the house, you probably gonna take your kid in. I don't care if they grown. I don't care. That's his daughter. So I don't have nothing for that. But the reason why I brought this up and wanted to talk about it in the first place is the women having a whole thing now over the past few years where coming to TikTok to fabricate, exacerbate, and exaggerate different stories about their husbands, about their marriages, about their children, about the men in their life, and this, that, and the third, in order to support and feed a narrative that paints them as perpetual victims of these horrific men. All the men are narcs. All the men are cheating. All the men are financially abusing them. All of the men are taking advantage of them in some type of way. This, that, and a third. All of the men. All the men manipulated them. All the men have gaslit them. All the men have lied to them in these extensive, intricate ways to get them caught up in webs of deceit, lying, so that they didn't reveal themselves to after they was married to them and spit out 50 kids, and then all of a sudden, only to come to realize that if you are to speak to these women in depth, just asking a couple of questions, these brothers did not peel back many layers at all. Let's just be honest. These brothers did not peel back a whole bunch of layers. But the few questions that they managed to ask revealed that she was lying about it. She lying about it. And they're not really holding her feet to the fire. And if you watch them brothers, I actually don't expect them to do that, because they're not really going to do that. But asking her these questions, just these little pitty pat questions, she had to come out of her mouth to tell everybody that she's exaggerating, that she's putting more sauce on it than necessary, that she's lying in essence about who this man is. We don't ever get his side. We don't ever get the men's side. Who the man is, what he was about. You want us to believe that that you're essentially homeless with 5 children, that you had to take those children out of their home, go to your father's home, and live in a cramped space because your father likely, if he don't have a home, he probably don't got space that's necessarily for a bunch of kids, because the way she made it sound, the dad lived by himself, or maybe he lived with her mom. Regardless of the living situation of the father, you made it seem like that is what it had to be. And that this man has basically cut you off financially. When we come to realize none of that is true. None of it is true. This man, from what she said, this man is taking care of those children. He may or may not be taking care of her per se, but he's taking care of those kids. She already has her little real estate license. That real estate license is a hyena's license. That's a hyena license. I'm sorry. Too many hyenas got that license. I'm sorry if I'm disparaging a lioness who's legitimately in real estate. I don't mean to disparage any lioness that is legitimately a real estate agent or leasing agent or anything like that. I'm really not trying to disparage the lioness, but it's a whole bunch of hyenas. When you get to talking to them, that's the little license that they got. Okay. And she said it. She's like, it really ain't even all that bad. It's really not even all that bad. But you own the internet. Putting out into the world that this man is dragging you through hell and back. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're telling the world that this man is no good, that he's no bueno. Left you with 5 kids and you just destitute now, and he just going on about his life and he don't care. He's, tiptoeing through the tulips while you struggle. If he did take back a Benz and give you a less expensive car, it was probably good for you, because his money can keep up a Benz. You don't got no money. So he did you a favor, did he not? by giving you a vehicle that you could likely keep up with on a regular income and a regular salary. You don't need no Benz. Nobody need no Benz that ain't got maintenance money for that Benz. If you ain't got regular maintenance money for that Benz without patting your pocket trying to see what you got when the brakes go out, you don't need no Benz. Okay, you don't need no Benz. You need like a little, you need a little a Chevy Trax. What you need, huh? Something easy to take care of. Get you a little Toyota Corolla. They good. Toyota Corollas is a good car. It's little, but it's good. It'll roll for you as long as you keep gas in it. He took that bill off of you. You can't handle no Benz. You ain't got no Benz money. You ain't got no Benz money. You ain't got no job, Tommy. For all we know, they not broke up. Because she was reluctant to say what the state of their relationship actually was. For all we know, they not even broke up for real. For all we know, she finna go toot it up for him tonight. They're a little bit on the outs and all of that. This how she call herself making a couple of dollars. Do a little story time when she trying to get her TikTok popping. That's the little money she trying to make. Got that little hyena license and get that little TikTok money popping, baby. That's gonna be her little money. And she gonna go ahead on back to that man, try to, toot it up. And if he do cheat, she gonna turn her head. She gonna turn her head. Them kids ain't destitute, and neither is she. Sitting up here lying. Just get up here and say anything on this internet. What's good, Hamp? How you doing? Good to see you come through. You try and get your TikTok popping. Girl, you sat up here and told a whole story. And I'm going to say something else that might be a little bit unpopular. I don't feel sorry for her husband. You married that little liar. You married that little liar. She might be just what you need. You get the little liar because you married that little liar. You know she was a lie before you got with her and popped 5 kids in her. You know she was a little scheming little liar. You know she do that. Where was your antennas when you were supposed to be vetting her? You don't know she a liar? You don't know she'll go somewhere and lie for clout? You don't know that? Why you don't know that? You ain't never caught her in no lie? You ain't ever caught her in just a series of little lies? You know what I'm saying? A lie when the truth will do and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of lying about this and kind of lying about that. You know you didn't put 2 and 2 together and it was study coming up with 5 and that didn't seem suspicious to you. 2 and 2 was study coming up for 5 and
you don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious. You don't find that suspicious.
We don't find that suspicious? I'm becoming more and more convinced that sometimes these men end up with these scallywags. And it's something about you that's got this scallywag. What you with her for? What you with her for? She a little liar. She a little sneaky, little scheming, little manipulative, little liar. She stood there and tried to be cute and lie in your face. So you might want to go and look in the mirror as well, sir, whoever you are. You might want to look in the mirror as well. It's possible that you may need to look in the mirror because your wife is doing a chitlin circuit all around the internet, slandering your name and acting like you done left her in the middle of the street with 5 snotty-nosed kids with no shoes and no coat in the wintertime. That's how she put that. She got you out here looking crazy. And from what she say, it ain't even warranted. She lying about it. And you ain't of having, and we don't have you officially even divorced her, got her out of there. Because if she ain't got no money and been there less than 10 years, baby, she ain't got no whole lot coming. Please understand that. She ain't got no whole lot coming. Me mind being scared about what she gonna get. She ain't got no whole lot coming. Get them kids. Go to the court and get them kids. So you ain't got to pay a mint in child support. Go get your kids. Anyway, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.